We did it, everybody. We made it to another Thursday. KSR Happy Hour, presented by Country Boy Brewing. Drew Franklin, Tyler Thompson, Jack Pilgrim, who I just saw an hour ago. You made quick work getting home, Jack. Impressive.
Hey there.
I saw you.
Long time no see.
Yeah, Jack and I were over at Historic Memorial Coliseum to talk to three of the basketball players. That is on our list of topics today on KSR's Happy Hour. As I said, presented by Country Boy Brewing. Founded in the heart of Kentucky by True Blue Wildcat fans. Check out their original brewery and tap room on Chair Avenue, where they've got like 25 beers on tap, ciders, all kinds of fun stuff. Good food, too. People, the Country Boy Kitchen gets slept on. Good food there. And this week, I'm partaking. I took the last 2 weeks off, but I found me a Hillbilly Hustle in the back of the fridge. Somehow missed this one when I was mowing the other day because usually the fridge gets empty after a good mow. But I will be partaking with my summer beer, Hillbilly Hustle, Blackberry Lemon. There it is. Matching glass. Our regulars know the drill. Rosie, I see you in there. Captain Crash. Usual crew. Tyler, how about you? What did I hear you crack over there?
Got a halfway home, the American Pale Ale. I need to go on a Country Boy run this weekend up at the lake because I'm getting low. So maybe they'll have some new seasonals out there. Try
Can't have
something
that.
new.
Can't have that. Jack on 3 Polo looks good.
Hey, thanks.
Official.
I'm a company man.
Did you rock the logo all through Peach Jam? I saw it in a few photos.
I did. I did. I tried to, make sure our brand was loud and strong. Got a KSR Polo and a couple of them on 3 Polo and a couple of them, but never strayed.
Good
Do
deal.
we have a Mark Pope beard situation going on, Jack?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a Mark Pope beard, but
Look at this.
I am the worst beard grower in the history of beard growers. So we're just, sometimes it just hits me where I just want to see what happens with it. And I'm going out of town this weekend. I want to hang out with one Zach Gagan. We are preparing for his wedding here in September. So we're very excited to go down to Savannah. So, it's just kind of let your hair down kind of weekend.
Are you the responsible one on this trip? Do we need to worry more about you or him, or are you going to keep him alive?
I will keep him alive. I will do my part. I will be babysitting quite a bit. But it's just going to be chill. He's taking it quite easy. Didn't have a list of demands. Didn't have like, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. It was just kind of, hey, we're going to get an Airbnb. It's a pool, hot tub kind of action, and take a day trip to the beach tomorrow. Ooh. Saturday, I believe, is just like walking around Savannah and just enjoying ourselves. And then Sunday we head out. So, kind of quick and easy, pretty nonchalant. I'm looking forward to a relaxing weekend with my buddy.
Relaxing, I'm sure it will be. You mentioned babysitting. I might have to walk away at some point just for a minute because I hear nothing but screaming on the other side of this wall. I hope it's not coming through the microphones, but my sister clocked in to watch. My sister's in town. She lives in Florida, to watch the baby for this hour, happy hour. And the moment I walk away, it sounds like all hell broke loose. So I hope that's not coming through, but it sounds like there's a lot going on the other side of this wall here at my house. But
we don't hear anything on our end if it makes you
perfect. Well, if I have to take a 1-minute break, I need to go check on everyone. That might happen, but I should be able to make it through the show. Also want to shout out Parlor Pizza, our other big-time sponsor here at KSR on the Happy Hour and our Rapid Reactions and podcast. I feel like we do a million things on YouTube these days. Speaking of the Rapid Reactions, that was a fun one last night, Jack, with Mario asking
for permission to gritty.
Daryl Morsel. If anyone watched it, we have these mini microphones, and Daryl, almost put it in his mouth, so I'm glad we could hear from him. He didn't have to hold it that close. Zach joked that he was going to swallow it like as a cough drop or something, but I had fun doing that. And you can have fun if you check out Parlor Pizza. They're coming along in Hamburg out here by me in Lexington. Got multiple locations in Louisville. They're over on Harrodsburg Road, but check them out for all your pizza, pints, and patio needs. And what was our other P?
Hey.
We had 4 Ps.
Parlor pizzas and pints on the patio.
There we go. I thought Luck had added another P last week. Maybe not.
We can probably come up with another one somehow.
Yeah, people. Go for the people.
There you go.
But check out Parlor Pizza, pints, patio. Always a good time, and we appreciate them sponsoring us here on KSR's Happy Hour. I mentioned the rapid reaction last night. We were doing that because La Familia got the W. Monday night didn't look good. Optimism wasn't the highest going into last night's rubber match in Lexington. But Willie Cauley-Stein was able to give it a go. He was the key to the game. And not only did he play, he played well and completely took Montrezl Harrell out of the game last night in the second half, which was the difference maker as the Ville came back, La Familia came back to beat the Ville. I noticed Montrez didn't get on top of the table. There was no getting on top of the table. That was ridiculous Monday night, but Willie helped shut him up. And then, of course, leading the way in scoring, Archie Goodwin. They hit his music before the game. He comes in, joins the team for the first time in Game 3, led the team with 22 points, 19 of which were in the second half. And our boy Daryl Morsel, who tries to eat our microphones, had 20. So those two combined for 42. What did the lead get up to, Jack? Jack, do you remember? Where did they get up by? Louisville was up by 10 at one point, it felt like. Had the halftime lead.
Both sides went up 10 at some point. Yeah.
It looked really bad in that first quarter. Like
it did.
I couldn't watch it all. I was out. We already had plans, but I was watching it on my phone, and like I'd watch for a little bit, and then I'd get really depressed and like put it down, and then I'd come back. So when I picked it up whenever La Familia went on the big run, sometime in the third quarter, I was like, oh my gosh, they're ahead by 8. This is awesome. I'm going to watch now. So very, very, very happy about all of that because it looked bad there for a little bit.
It was fun. When I got there, I was kind of telling people, with Montrez playing the way he's been, it's like we need 30 from Archie because, Montrez has been the best player on the court the whole series. But Archie has another gear that if he could kick into, we knew he'd be a problem. But at halftime with the 3 points, we worried we weren't going to get that version of Archie. But then he found it. You could kind of feel it turning in the second half. The crowd, even though it didn't look great, there's another passionate group excited to be there. I even turned to our guy Paul and Mario. I think La Familia was down 7, and I said, live bet La Familia. This is turned. You could just feel it. It was like Archie realized, or Archie clocked in and became a big part of the game. They had no answer for Morcel. And for some reason, Jack, the Ville just quit giving the ball to Montrez. I know Willie played good defense on him and was a difference maker. Montrez has struggled with length his whole career. So Willie was really playing well, but they still just went away from him. And I thought that was a big part of the game.
It blew my mind. Very questionable coaching decision on their part, but I love it personally. I thought it was a great decision if you're looking, through a Kentucky fan's lens. But I just got to give credit to Willie Cauley-Stein more than anybody, just for I expected Archie to go out there and do what he did. Daryl Morsel, he's been there and done that. Former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, TBT guy. So nothing he did surprised me. But for Willie to go out there, play 34 minutes on a bum ankle, we saw him leaving the building in a boot. And hearing him talk on KSR today was hilarious. He was talking like, seeing Montrezl Harrell unleashes my superpowers, and it's like I was fantasizing about it the night before that it was like an anime rivalry villain enemy battle where both of us are going head to head, like it was Dragon Ball Z or something. It was hilarious. I love that he did that. And then Ryan at the very end of the interview talked him into running it back a fourth year with La Familia. So showing that he does have a little bit of gas left in the tank, and that seeing Montrezl Harrell unleashes the inner beast that is Willie Cauley-Stein. So shout out Willie.
Austin in the comments says he already has his tickets for Sunday. They play at 2 p.m. Sunday at Historic Memorial Coliseum. They'll get the winner of Boeheim's Army, which is Syracuse alums, or Hall In. Is that right? The Seton Hall alums?
Get it? Like Seton Hall?
I get it. I get it. I like the schedule makers. That game's only played one game of their series. They play tonight. If Hall In ties it up, I mean, their series is going to go right up into when they have to fly to Lexington to play that game. So already La Familia has an advantage with getting some rest, and they need it. The comment just disappeared. Sherry, I think it says Sherry. Yeah, Sherry asked why Liggins didn't play. He looked to be hurt. He was iced up in the second half. Andrew Harrison rolled his ankle. He tried to give it a go late, but he was struggling. So the rest it comes at a good time. And I haven't watched all of Boeheim's Army or Hall In. In fact, I've only seen 30 seconds of them. But Mario, our resident TBT expert, he says neither of them are nearly as good as the Ville. So if they can just take their series to 3 games, have to come out here on short rest, it moves to single elimination on Sunday, Tyler. So quarterfinals are here already. Got over a big hump by beating Louisville, and then it gets to 1 game in advance, and we'll see who they have to play.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm excited. So I looked at Boeheim's Army's roster. Both Buddy Boeheim and Jimmy Boeheim on the roster. If you know any of these other people, let me know. Elijah Hughes played for Syracuse. Eric Devendorf played for Syracuse.
I remember him.
Wes Johnson Cole Swider.
How old is Eric Devendorf these days?
He's
He feels like he
gotta
played
be
forever
super
ago.
old.
Wesley Johnson is ancient too, at least at this run.
Yeah.
Was he in the John Wall class?
His
Devendorf
last team was the Washington Wizards in the NBA. So I can't imagine that was recent. So,
Devendorf is 39 and a half.
Oh
He's
my
older than
gosh.
Liggins.
Wesley
Lord.
Johnson's 39 as well.
Are they going to put that figure up there every single time they show him? Because every time they show Liggins now, it's like, he's 38. It's like, oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah, Liggins
That's
is the
probably
young
why
man
he
in this
didn't
one.
play. But yeah, and then Haul in. Let's see who they've got. Isaiah Whitehead.
He was a
Heard of
baller.
him. Darnell Brody, Romero Gill, Miles Kale, Casey Indefo, Philip Carr, Ant Nelson, Quatarius Wilson, Colby Rogers, Terry Roberts. Not a ton. I mean, I guess most of those guys went to Seton Hall, but I'm not scared of them. They don't have a Willie Cauley-Stein. They don't have an Archie Goodwin. They don't have an Andrew Harrison. Although I was laughing, Jack, at that quote from Willie. It was the most Willie quote ever about Montrez. Like, he visualizes this big anime battle the night before. And, like, knowing Willie, you know that he does. And also the fact that interview, you know, we keep talking about his hurt ankle, his hurt foot. He was on the golf course. You could hear the golf swings in the back. Like,
I love hearing the swing in the background because we were texting because at first it sounded like he was in a washing machine. It sounded horrible. The audio was just terrible. And then Tyler texted, "I bet he's on a golf course." And then we actually hear the whoosh. Yep, definitely.
He didn't even no shame in it either. He pretty much acknowledged it. He's like, yeah, I thought it was he's really gotten into golf. I know this happened a couple of years ago, but he was talking about how golf is his church and like it's good for him.
Oh, he loves it. I texted him right after the interview and said, "Man, that sounded like a good shot." He's like, "Yeah, bro, it was a rocket. You should see it." It's like, man, he loves golf. Absolutely loves golf. It's been therapeutic for him. And you think a guy at his size wouldn't be that good. I haven't played with him, but from what he posts on Instagram, he's got a pretty good swing. So Willie has found a new hobby, new sport. I'm rocking his golf
That's
line.
right. Yeah,
more to golf.
Yeah.
Shout out to Willie's brand and for playing so well last night. Boeheim's Army is a 12.5-point favorite tonight, if that tells you anything about the matchup.
Wow.
So we need to be for Haul in to stretch this thing to 3 games, but it seems like out in the desert, they don't have a lot of faith in them getting it done. That's a big spread for TBT. And really, if you bet that, you need to call the phone line.
They would play if Haul in somehow were to tie up the series. They would play Friday night at 7 p.m.
That's crazy.
Like Sunday at 2 is the next route. I don't thank you to the schedule makers. Even tonight, like no matter what, we're at an advantage. So take advantage of it.
I love the format. I don't think this will happen, but Twanny still says they can add players by Sunday. I mean, like at this point, let's just roll with what we have. But I love that you can be in the quarterfinals and just still go out and get free agents. Like I said, I don't expect anyone having Archie. Archie was big. I know there was a little bit of drama there, but it was good to have him. I think Khalil Whitney has more in him too. I think we haven't seen all of Khalil Whitney. He had a big dunk last night. He hit the big 3 from the Liggins behind the back pass in game 1, but I think we'll get more out of him. And they'll need it, especially if Andrews is banged up as he looks and DeAndre Liggins. So looking forward to Sunday. I'll be out there. Jack will be out of town, but Mario and I will be there. I've said that La Familia is 0-2 when I'm not there. They're actually 0-3. They've had 3 losses in their 3 years, and those are the only 3 games I've missed. So I feel like I have to go. It's number 1 priority. I got to be there to watch it. And I expect it to be a better crowd, being the weekend and getting past Louisville. I think it'll get some more excitement. But it's been fun. I know some people kind of roll their eyes at it. I understand it's not March Madness, but what else is going on? I've enjoyed it, and I know, Tyler, you've been watching from home.
Yeah, and we don't have the World Cup anymore. So any sports on TV is good. And especially when you get to see TBT was really smart to start it with La Familia versus the Ville because you get the Kentucky-Louisville rivalry right away. We got 3 games of it. It was really good. I'm just really happy that La Familia came out on top because I was very worried there in the first quarter. I was like, oh my gosh. So do you think if the result had been flipped, would Louisville Sports Radio be talking about this on Louisville Sports Radio Happy Hour? Would they be dedicating a whole segment to it?
They're so obnoxious. What's that guy's name? David Matthews or something Matthews? In game 2, to his credit, he had a nasty dunk on Chris Coffey, But I saw on Twitter they were like, "This is the most disrespectful Louisville on Kentucky move ever," and I thought he doesn't play for Louisville, and Chris Coffey didn't play for Kentucky. Like you can't just claim that. I mean, I like TBT as much as the next guy, but you can't put in the same tier as an actual Kentucky versus Louisville play when neither one of them had played for the teams they're representing. So yes, they got into it. Trez on top of the table Monday night was ridiculous.
That was too much. That was even Willie today in the interview kind of laughed about
said,
that.
That's wild.
It's a TBT game, man.
Get your ass down.
You are not
Jack
John Wall.
Jack and I got to talk to 3 players from the current Kentucky team. That was fun today. We had Big Frank, who Jack knows this. I'm telling you all right now, you're going to love Frank. He's one of those guys. You can tell right away who's going to be a fan favorite. Big Frank's going to be a fan favorite. I spoke to Alex Wilkins. He was great talker. Now that these guys are a little older, it's so much different than we'd get freshmen this time of year where it's just one-sentence answers. Great conversations with both those guys. We did have one freshman, Zion Hawthorne. He was actually pretty fun to listen to too, but we spent most of our time with Big Frank and Wilkins. I was with Wilkins. I caught the tail end of Frank and had a lot of fun. But Jack, what were your takeaways from Big Kepnong?
Oh man, what a joy! What a sweetheart. Where you got to ask him about growling, got to ask him about his future as a robotics engineer. Like, when have you ever heard of a Kentucky basketball player or any athlete really talk about life after basketball and his future steps being robotic engineering? I certainly haven't. So it was very cool. He talked about, asked about like, what are you known for? What do you want to be known for as a Kentucky Wildcat playing here? He said, the rim is my home. I want to protect my home. Like if there's a home invader, I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect my home. Stuff like that. It's just like, insane quote, absolutely insane, but it was just like bar after bar after bar after bar. Everything that he said was spectacular. Said that he fell in love with how he went down his path of a minor or major in AI and cybersecurity. Like he has a whole list of different degrees and how he got there, and all his academic journey has been wild. But said that it started when he was like 5 years old, took apart a robot. Had a robot in his hands, or like an RC car kind of like robot, and he just like deconstructed the entire thing and put it all back together in opposite order. So like if you with the remote control have it go forward, that it would go backward. If you would go left, he wanted it to go right, just to like challenge himself and see if he can do it. And that was the moment where he was like, I think I could do this post basketball. So you'd have no idea that he was a 7 foot, 275 pound freak of nature athlete. So that part was very cool. He opened up about his injury history and the adversity he's gone through over his 6 years in college, kind of the chip on his shoulder he has going into year 7, about just proving that he can be healthy and have a full season of Frank Kepnong basketball. So 10 out of 10 interview with Big Frank.
As I said, I caught the tail end of it. I was probably with him 5 to 10 minutes. We got a long time with both of them, even though they started early. I get there, they tell us 2:15. I got there at 1:45, and I was like, I'm early. I'm just going to sit in my car. So I'm getting question ideas, and I'm scrolling. I go in a few minutes after 2, and everybody's already rolling. This is a different era. It used to be back when we would hear our players aren't robots. They would be 15 minutes late all the time. And now, Jack, I don't know what time you got there, but I was like, damn, y'all are rolling without me. So I got in, went straight to Wilkins and Hawthorne. As I said, caught the tail end of Kepnong. My favorite part with Big Frank of what I heard is our guy Ryan Black, who made me and Jack laugh on our way out the door. I love that guy. At the Courier Journal, if y'all aren't following Ryan Black, please do. He's so funny. Been sitting by him at TBT too. One of my favorite people in media. But he asked Big Frank about everybody making fun of him for looking like Zoom's dad. And it was just Ryan's delivery. He was like, hey, man, I laughed at it. But Frank was like, yeah, I laughed at it too. It was pretty good. So I think he's been hearing the dad jokes a lot. They call him Grandpa on the team, and he leaned into it and had a big smile about it. So as I said, he's going to be a fan favorite as we get to know him more. Hopefully gets to play a full season. Big talking point there. But the personality is there.
Did he give any specifics on his injury, or just that he's load management, or?
I was trying to push and pry, and he wasn't playing, with that game. Like I think he really was not trying to be specific. I asked, I was like, are you load managing this summer so you can be healthy for a full season. He's like, well, I wouldn't say I'm like resting this summer. I'm in the gym 10 hours a day. The strength, he kept giving credit to the training staff and the strength, medical staff for, coming up with a game plan and just a way of attacking this. I've heard on my end that it's lingering from the season-ending injury at Washington, while also just like, hey, it makes no sense to play him right now in these practices. Like, he doesn't need to scrimmage. Let's try to preserve him as much as possible and kick the can down the road to October, November, so he's healthy for the full season. So when I tried to, ask leading questions, be like, hey, I know this about you. Can you confirm this? And you explain your side of the story. He's just like, nah, trust my trainers, trust my medical staff. They've got a heck of a plan for me, and I'm ready to, prove it this upcoming season. So no specifics on the why or the what, but the how we're going to get there. We got a little bit deeper on that.
I like he mentioned how he has the ability to completely change a game with his presence. And as he said it, Wilkins was walking by because he was done. And he was like, yeah, he's not kidding. That's exactly what he does and how he can be a difference maker. Wilkins even asked him a question. When I was talking to Wilkins, I didn't realize this connection, but he said he grew up a huge Terrence Clark fan. And he said, I probably have 3,000 pictures of Terrence Clark on my phone. He's like, because they're from the same area. He's like, I'm a little kid. I'd see him out. I'd take pictures of him. I have pictures with him. Mentioned how his whole photo gallery is full of Terrence Clark. So I asked him, if that added a little more about wearing the jersey and if he thinks about him. So pretty cool connection there that I wasn't aware of. He talks a lot about that. I'll write a blog about that here soon. Also went around and asked everybody, all three of them, what's something Mark Pope says every day? And they all gave the exact same answer, which I didn't expect. I assume Pope says a lot, but they all said 2 feet, 2 hands. So I guess that's a message Pope's really preaching. But none of the three guys hesitated in saying that. Wilkins was explaining how that helps them cut down on turnovers. And he said, if this offense didn't turn over the ball, look out. So that was a big takeaway. When I walked in early, but late, the first thing I heard someone say was as I was walking up to Hawthorne, he was the first table in front of me, and he said, they're telling us to be the hammer, not the nail. If you all remember, Mark Fox taped the hammer to the wall at the end of the postseason, so that message is still sticking around. Wilkins also doesn't lack confidence. That guy's ready to score some points. He doesn't care. He talks about how he's kind of been written off his whole career, wasn't a 5-star, ends up at Furman, but he's letting people know I get buckets everywhere I go, and that's not going to change at Kentucky. The step-back jumper that went viral that the team put out yesterday, that was a big talking point since everyone's latched on to that. He was like, yeah, that's regular. Get ready for that. So my man's got some swag, Tyler, and he's ready to lead this team in scoring, and very, very not like an arrogant, cocky, annoying type, but like I'm here to get buckets.
Well, that's what you want to hear from your guards. I was watching Goose Givens. He did his practice report with the UK Sports Network, and he talked about Wilkins and how much he likes him, as his ability to score, but also Zoom Diallo and how he's been such a vocal leader so far. And you could tell that the team is responding to that. And give Goose credit. He brought up, he was like, that's different than last year. There was nobody last year until Ortega at the very end who stepped up and was a vocal leader. And this team's doing that. And they also like to be in the gym. They like to practice, unlike last year's team. So good on Goose to say that. And it's really good to hear you guys say that about Alex and Zoom when he did his interviews too. You got to have confident guards. And these guys sound like they're doing that. And from what we've seen in practice, they're playing the part too.
Alex also said that they immediately clicked when they got on campus. He's like, a lot of these guys, we didn't know each other. He seems like a big film rat. He said he watched film on everybody on the team when he committed. He said he's been watching film of Shea since he was at Kentucky. He gets the Shea comparisons. He even name dropped that he watched Shea film when Shea played for the Clippers. It's like, who paid attention when he was a Clipper? Like, I must be watching Thunder stuff, but he seems like he watches a lot of tape. But he said outside of just knowing his teammates' games, that when they got here, a lot of the guys didn't know each other well, and they immediately gelled. So I know that was a point with Jack, as you were saying, about how last year's chemistry wasn't great, but they seemed genuine in that they really like each other. Mentioned like him just walking by and goofing off with Frank a little bit on their way out. They all said Zoom is the vocal leader, which is what you want from your point guard. No hesitation in that. One fun thing with Hawthorne, I asked him if he's had a welcome to Kentucky moment yet, and he said Malachi has dunked on him not once but twice. Pretty hard. One of them made it to Twitter. I don't think he loved that UK put that clip out. A little bit of a mismatch there, but he said it was pretty alarming getting crammed on by Malachi. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I haven't gotten to go to those as many lately, and I went today and had a good time. It seems like this is going to be a fun group. Jack, had you had much interactions with Big Frank today, or were you like me and were like, wow, this guy's awesome?
So I talked to a couple of people back at Washington, post commitment, and just like, hey, what should I expect? And every single one of them said, oh, he's gonna be a favorite. Like, you're gonna love meeting him, talking to him, getting to know him. Like, his playing style is obviously fun when he's playing. Unfortunately, that's always been the caveat of he's great, but this was my first. I knew that he was smart, no one that agrees in the academic side of things. Knew he was a fun personality, but he definitely exceeded expectations, and just in terms of the confidence and like saying like I'm one of the best shot blockers in the country, and there's a reason why I'm here. Like, I'm going to protect my house, I'm going to protect the paint, and I appreciated that part of it. Talked about his mom and the legacy that she was a former athlete, and what she's instilled in him, and just really insightful stuff. Like, we get the Reed Travises and the Nate Sestinas of the world that they come through, and you just know that they're special people, and how they interact with the media, and they care about what you're asking them and want to really try to answer thorough, insightful, smart, those things. So I really appreciated that part of it. So I haven't. This is my first time, and he definitely exceeded all my expectations.
Yeah, you mentioned his shot blocking. I forgot to mention Wilkins also said everybody's sleeping on their defense. There's been a lot of criticism about what they could be defensively. I've said it on the radio. I think they're going to be a great offensive team. But he said with their length, they're really getting into passing lanes. I asked, like, what would surprise fans if they were able to go to a practice? And he said he feels like their defense is already getting disrespected, and that can be a strength. So that was another good thing in hearing from him. Just a fun day overall. And tomorrow, Mark Pope will speak. Finally answering our boy Nick Roush's request to do a press conference this summer.
Send Nick. That would be funny. I wouldn't do that to him because he'll be getting right back from Florida, but that would be hilarious if we had Nick like on the front row.
I hate when they scheduled it. Zach and Jack are going to be gone. I could have gone at any time that's not in the morning, but it's at 9 a.m., so KSR will be shorthanded. Steven is going, so we'll have a video. But Steven will be answering the questions, or asking the questions, maybe answering if he wants to. If anybody in the comments section wants to give some suggestions for Steven, maybe he can ask. We can have a happy hour question of the day. Steven can ask Pope, but he will be our lone representative at the press conference tomorrow. But Jack, it's a good thing we're hearing from Pope. He did KSR a few weeks ago. He's hopped on like with Rothstein, and there's been, the videos he's put out. But this is the first true press conference since the season ended? Has there even been one?
Believe so. First one.
What do we think he'll get into? I guess Steven could hop on and tell us what he'll get him into. But obviously, updates. So we think he'll get into the injuries because, as you said, we didn't get much detail on Frank. We all know Cam Williams still rolling around. Looks like there might have been a few other absences. I haven't seen Trent Noah in videos lately. I wonder, do you think Pope will really lean into when he expects guys back, or will that be a question he dodges?
I think it needs to be. Like, I do think that the Cam thing is very weird, how you go from soft boot to hard boot to rolling around on a scooter.
He was on crutches the other day.
Yeah. Scooter, then crutches, like something clearly, I don't know if there's a follow-up procedure, whatever the case was, but, what Pope will be willing to, expand on, I think would be interesting. Frank, will he be load managing him throughout the season? I'm fascinated to know, like, will he be, no back-to-backs, no, like, what's going to be the rules and regulations for keeping him healthy? And, Trent Noah, we've heard things about, he, I think on KSR was when he said that he pulled his hamstring, and I've heard on my end that he's probably going to be out for the month. So we will see in that regard. But I do think that's Pope probably a good time for him to open up a little bit on Justin McBride with his illness. He missed a full week or whatever. So we got to get these guys on the court. We got to get full practice.
I saw Justin McBride last night at Memorial. He was cutting up, having fun. Glad we can put that behind us. His dad came out on Facebook, said he was just under the weather and he'll be back. But for those that were concerned that he had quit the team and moved away or anything crazy, that's absolutely untrue. And he was at Memorial last night having a good time with his teammates. That was another thing. Mario and I kind of talked to a few of the guys as soon as that game ended on the court, and they got a big taste of Big Blue Nation, even though there's only maybe a couple thousand people at the most in Memorial cheering on 35-year-olds. That was their first time actually getting out, most of them, and seeing what this fan base is like. So they seem pretty excited. Tyler, do you have anything you would ask Pope, or anything we should tell Steven to maybe get on the radar? Maybe if the schedule's not complete, is the roster complete? There's a few things he could.
Yeah, I mean, a direct question about that potential game versus West Virginia and Nashville would be good. I mean, just to get it out there since it's been rumored. I mean, I'm just trying to think of stuff he hasn't already addressed in some way. I'm sure he'll talk about the team's work ethic and the chemistry and the bonding and all that. Kind of maybe the question that you asked, I forget who it was, Alex or Frank, what would surprise fans about this group that they haven't necessarily heard? Defensive, stuff that could be, because it seems like a concern. How does he feel about the defense? What are they good at right now? What can they improve on? It feels like we've heard some rumblings that Momcilovic maybe hasn't been shooting it that well. Maybe just some direct questions about how Momcilovic is easing in and adapting so far. So I think there's a lot to ask, a lot to be heard. We have already heard some of it in some different ways, but finally tomorrow we'll have reporters in the room asking questions, asking follow-ups, instead of just a curated conversation with whomever and on social media. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a busy day on this here website.
You mentioning Momcilovic just reminded me of another thing with Alex Wilkins today. It might have been our guy, Jeff Drummond, who was also there, or maybe not, somebody. He was one of those media scrums. They asked what he's like on the court because he's kind of admittedly a goofball, but he's also a sniper. It's like, what's his personality? And Alex even spun it. Actually, Ben Roberts, now I think about it, from the Herald Leader. Alex put it back. He's like, what do you think Momcilovic is like? And we're like, we don't know. You tell us. And he said he's serious, but will also crack a joke here and there. He seems like a fun-loving guy. So even when practice is tense and they're getting after it, he might, be able to break the ice with a one-liner here and there. But he seems like another fun personality. I haven't done any interviews with him, but Wilkins was talking about how fun he is to be around and can be a little bit of a clown in a good way to lighten the mood and cheer the team up while still being that lethal threat on the outside that's making everything work. But Pope will 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll need time to upload it, but check KSR. It'll be on this here YouTube channel, and we'll finally get to hear from Mark as the season comes around. Maybe we'll talk a little Vegas and what's up next. Maybe there'll be some breaking news, but we'll, of course, as Tyler said, have a busy day on the website, reacting and recapping everything he says. It's busy time for Steven. He's got Pope tomorrow, but where are you, Steven? They're on their way back from Tampa. He's been at media days all week. My man goes from TBT game 1 straight to Tampa from SEC media days. He probably comes back thinking, I can put the camera down for a day, put my feet up and rest. Nope. Pope calls a press conference, but he was down there in Tampa for what was a busy week, especially on Monday. A little dated news now, but Will Stein making headlines and Coach Speak is back. The because of me comment, Tyler, it's been all the talk all week. It's been covered up a little bit because he went first, but on Monday he was the talk of college football, and that's unique for Kentucky this time of year.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm still smiling about it. And he was the third coach up on Monday, and it's now Thursday afternoon and everybody's done. If not for the whole Sumrall, a reporter's phone going off and him threatening to throw the podium at him, it might've been the line of the whole event. And then Lane went today and was kind of crazy, but I think it's great. It's just fun to hear people talking about Kentucky football in a different, new, exciting, positive way. Nick Saban was on SEC Now today and shared his thoughts on all the new coaches and had a lot of great things to say about Will Stein. And when you get to hear Nick Saban praise your coach, that's pretty cool. So love all the positive buzz around the program right now. Steven, I know you were on your way home, so you didn't get to hear Lane Kiffin today. And Drew, you were on the radio. He was crazy. So we don't have to make this the Lane show, but the coaches get 30 minutes to talk. He spent 20 of those minutes on his opening statement just to filibuster so he wouldn't have to answer a lot of questions. And then the one question, one of the 4 questions he got was about, him leaving Ole Miss and the backlash that he got. And he somehow turned the answer to a reflection on his mortality. He was like, I realized I was watching the Hulk Hogan documentary and I realized that we're all going to die. At some point, we're all even Hulk Hogan is going to die. And my dad died. And all this stuff. It was just only Lane could just turn that around. It was something. So it has not been dull between him and Pete Golding and John Summerall and Will Stein. I mean, it's been an entertaining SEC Media Days.
Luckett and Roush made this point on their mini shows from there, 11 Personnel. As you all know, SEC Media Days around the clock. They put out so much content, but Coach Speak is gone at least this week. I mean, from what I've seen, it's been very entertaining. I'll have to lock in on Lane after this. I saw Lane's son told him to quit social media, so Lane's off there. I don't believe that. I mean, I believe that he's off,
There's
but
no
I
way.
don't. Well, for one, I'm sure he has a burner for Lane things, but once the season gets going, I'll take the under on days that Lane Kiffin stays off social media. But I guess pretty neat that his son challenged him to do it, and he's going through with it. I love Summerall. There was a time I wanted him to be the coach. I love that we have Will Stein now, and we're going to beat Summerall. He says he was joking on that podium comment. I kind of want to throw a challenge flag. That seemed like a guy that was pretty serious and upset that the phone went off. Do you all think he was really joking? Or am I being a little harsh on his
I mean, I think maybe a little bit, but would he joke? Would that be a joke if that really were a player in his team meeting? Absolutely not. I think the look on his face kind of told you that if it was a player whose phone went off, they would get thrown out of that meeting. So, it was a funny moment. I think there's a truth in joking underneath it all, right?
He seemed pretty serious to me. And then Tom Crean, of all people, chiming in. Who had the John Summerall Tom Crean back and forth this week?
Oh, and then I like Tom Hart responding to Tom Crean and going, "Hey, you actually kicked me out of a practice one time for my phone going off. So yeah, I'll throw my own challenge flag." But I think there was a little bit of seriousness to generally a jokey kind of response that I think he wanted to control the room and be this is my first time at SEC Media Days as the head coach. Like I'm leading the Florida football program. Like I want this to be my moment. And then I think we got somebody, I can't remember who the reporter was, maybe Dan Wolkin, said that it was an alarm that went off, that the reporter's phone was actually on Do Not Disturb and on silence, and he was just out of the room, but the alarm kind of,
doesn't take your phone though.
Yeah, blood pressure medicine alarm going off.
But even then, shouldn't you have your phone on you if you know there's an alarm? I don't know. That was weird.
So it was not a phone call. It wasn't. It was an alarm that the reporter was out of the room, thinking that he was. I think it was John Neighbors with Arkansas. Like I think. It was, believe so.
Neighbors.
Yeah. So he was out of the room. His alarm went off, and he didn't even get to hear the talking to that he got from John Summerall. Like I would have loved to see like his face get all beat red, probably very spray tanned and glistening red.
I like it even better than his Neighbors. I thought it was just like some old guy that couldn't dig in his pocket and find it. Our dear friend, the late Lonnie Demery, that seems like something that would have happened to him back in the day. Phone going off and him not even knowing it.
I think it has in several press conferences. I mean, it was a running joke there for a while. It made me want to go back and watch some of them.
Didn't the coach throw his phone out of the room one time?
Oh, God.
That happened, didn't it?
Throw Lonnie's phone?
I think so, right?
No, I ended up with Lonnie's phone one time. I had it for like over a day. He left it there, and I took it home and couldn't get a hold of anyone with the password. But it just kept going off, and I couldn't silence it. He was getting Facebook messages, and it was just...
What if it was like the spirit of Lonnie coming through someone's phone? Like Lonnie just really wanted to ask John Summerall a question.
I got a picture of Lonnie back here. How about this right here? Shout out our guy Lonnie. We miss seeing Lonnie.
Shout out!
I love him.
I love him.
Yeah, Lonnie was the best. But good to know his Neighbors. Neighbors throws the karaoke party down there every Wednesday. I've attended it before. I'm sure Roush was being Roush. We talk about Derby being Roush's Super Bowl, but I'm starting to think SEC Media Days is right on the same level and maybe even passing it between getting on Feinbaum every year. He wore the foam cowboy hat in Nashville. This year he gets on there with John Hale. There couldn't be two different personalities sitting next to Feinbaum, and Roush is just going at Bama fans. He's sitting through all these interviews and still balancing his fun. I'm almost ready to put SEC Media Days ahead of Derby and what Nick Roush is built for.
He is just a little social butterfly. I mean, he's all gas, no brakes in all forms of life at Media Days. And he works hard enough to hold up to it. I mean, he earns his fun for sure. But I I love seeing him on Feinbaum. You could tell he was just like revving up. He was ready. He didn't have the cowboy hat on, probably a good thing. But he had his Alabama take ready. He was going to get it out. He told Paul to pull out the Sharpie and write down that Kentucky was going to beat Bama. Like, I wish that had gotten a little more attention, maybe because Feinbaum hasn't been taking callers this week. Maybe next week is when that'll resurface, but it's just prime Roush. And then Steven, we got to ask you, what was like the best Roush Luckett moment that we didn't see? And also, what songs did they sing at karaoke last night?
Okay, so I didn't go to karaoke because I had an early flight today. So I don't even know if Adam made it there. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah.
Ref certainly did.
There's no video. Did he put video out of him singing?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I hope so.
Yeah, I know. He needs to do that. No, I mean, like, you know, the guys can get after it. I can't keep up. So I think there was only one night that I stayed out with them, and that was Tuesday night. So I'm trying to think if I'll hop back in here I'll think of something. There had. I mean, it's Adam. It's Luckett and Roush. I know they did something. I'm just trying to figure out what the top moment is. So maybe I might hop back in.
I pulled up Nick's Twitter profile, his Twitter feed. The video I see is from Luckett of you watching TBT at the SEC Media Days party with the people, the reporters around you have no idea what you're doing. You had to explain to one of them what you were watching. And yes, there is basketball being played in July. And it was great. I love it.
Well, actually, we were a few seconds behind. So you texted the group hey, we won. And I was like, hey, is it over? Or like, I didn't know, maybe you thought like, okay, we're up by 6, we're going to win. Like, I didn't know if that was. So I was holding out to see Archie shot go in. It was awesome. Top moment of the summer for me, including my honeymoon in that. So, I loved it. It was great.
I can't wait for you to ask Mark Pope about it tomorrow. So
I love Steven was mid-season form, complaining when they're down 20 on Monday. He's ready to fire the staff.
I'm over it.
So-and-so's not a Wildcat. I'm burning their jersey. And then he's at SEC Media Days just locked in on his phone for Game 3. That's why we love you, Peak.
Love it.
Your emotions run high for the Cats, even if it's 35-year-olds playing an alumni game.
I got lots of text of your tweet being sent around. This is an insane tweet that you sent. La Familia falling apart. This is embarrassing. Tawani's going to have to answer for this.
Oh, God.
This offseason.
Nobody will accuse Steven of not caring about Kentucky sports.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad the guys had fun. Catch up on all their content there. Maybe Roush will get to catch up on some sleep. But that's a special place to him. He saw John Daly. Oh, that was John Daly there. I know he's an Arkansas guy, but
I guess it's just, it's not even South Florida. What do you call Tampa? Central Florida? Coastal Central Florida? Just, John Daly shows up. Why not? He's having an event. He'll just walk in.
I'm surprised we didn't get more Roush and John Daly. Those are two people that I feel like would have had a good time together.
I love how he is Mr. Social Butterfly for literally anything. Like, he'll talk to anybody. He'll go introduce himself to anybody. But John Daly's right in front of you. You go, should I take a pic? Of course you do, right? Yes. It's Roush. Go get him on a 11 personnel segment. Go ask him about the Big Blue Wall. I would love John Daly's thoughts on the Big Blue Wall.
Would he even know what that is? Like, that would be great, which would make it even better.
I had a friend that got to hang out on John Daly's tour bus, or his RV. I think it's an RV. Basically lives in it. And the friend went back to the bathroom, and then the thing is the bathroom's not hooked up. So John Daly told him to pee in a solo cup, and then said friend had to walk through the RV holding a cup and then throw it out the front door. That's the John Daly bathroom on his bus. That's how that man parties. I also think it was parked outside in his driveway. So that's what partying.
Go inside.
No, can't go inside.
Did you all know he has a bar in Nashville, John Daly?
I do. Yeah, I haven't been yet. It opened within the last year.
Yeah, we drove by it in Midtown the other day. I was like, oh, okay, sure. That makes sense. Why not?
When he was at the Barbasol when it was in Lexington for a few years, I would go really early. I was like the only person there to watch tee off because it was like 7 a.m. They had the bugler from Churchill out there. But I was out there early, and John Daly pulled up to the practice green. And, of course, he has a cig in his mouth and a gigantic McDonald's cup that's Diet Coke. Who knows what's with that Diet Coke? And because the man is so gifted, he gets out and he throws some balls down on the practice green. First swing, chips in with a cig in his mouth. I was like, my goodness, it is 8 in the morning, and John Daly's first swing, he chips in from about 20 yards away while ripping probably his 10th cigarette that morning and drinking a Diet Coke. What a special human being.
Have you all watched the Netflix show with Will Ferrell, Hawk?
I can't do it. I'm not. It looks awful, and I will not let it change my opinion of Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. It's not good. But it's like the train wreck because you just keep watching, and it's like I love Will Ferrell so much, but
it got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's bad.
No
It's
way,
bad.
not a chance.
Yeah.
And I don't like how they're forcing it. He was at all kinds of events in costume and full character. It's just like, don't do this, Will Ferrell. You're a legend.
He was at the World Cup final in his hawk visor with the wig and everything. Yeah.
So I should stick with staying away.
Probably stay away.
I don't want it to ruin my positive opinion of Will Ferrell. It looks awful. And I love golf and Will Ferrell. That's how bad it looks. We mentioned where Jack.
I know what the moment was, by the way, if y'all wanted to.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Nick Roush trash talking the mascot from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he took over the ship. We weren't supposed to be out there, apparently.
Yeah, tell me. I got to know that story. What was the deal with the ship?
So, I mean, some people were going outside to just to get photos of the stadium, but they didn't want people out there. But then Luckett figured out, there's no guardrails up anywhere. We can just keep walking. So we just kept walking. And then there's nothing in front of any of the steps for the ship. So we were like, well, I'm going to keep, if you don't put a little sign up that says, do not go past this or, staff only, we're going to keep exploring. So the mascot had to come out there and kick us off the ship.
Oh my God. So,
and Nick was just doing dad jokes the whole time about he was up on the steering it I think we run aground just being really loud.
Ahoy, matey.
He made a joke about looking for booty, didn't he? He made a joke.
Isn't that how Ryan Lemon got kicked out of permanently banned from a Little League World Series? Are you guys now permanently banned from pirate ships in Tampa?
I don't know. I don't know if they got. I don't know. I mean, the mascot wasn't happy with us. That was but then they wouldn't let anybody else out.
It was the mascot that came out and was security.
Is he just there all the time?
Yeah,
Guys,
that's his home. That's his house. Yeah.
Breaking and entering.
We mentioned where Jack's going this weekend. It's up next on our topic list. You said where you're going, right? Already?
Savannah. Yes.
All right. I've done the Savannah bachelor party before.
Ooh, nice.
And I got to recommend, I don't know if it's still there, but the Forrest Gump bench is in Savannah. So if you all on your walk, that was top priority for me. I left the group see you guys, I got to go sit on the bench. But if I could get one recommendation as someone who's already done a Savannah bachelor party, you got to rally the squad and go sit on the Forrest Gump bench. Get crazy.
Keep them coming. Give me a restaurant recommendation because I think Zach is pretty open book. Doesn't really care what we do. Just wants to hang out and not have a laptop open. So, but keep them coming.
We ended up at pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling in Savannah. It's just
Yeah, we got lucky. Yeah, this is my only picture from the trip. Is me on the bench. That's how excited I was to be there. I don't have any other pictures. I don't know. I'll come up with where we went, but it's a good time. You're gonna have fun. Like I said, stay alive. Especially.
I've heard Tybee Island is cool. That's probably the beach you all are going to.
We made the trip over there. Got to do that. You'll find it. It's a fun city to walk around.
I think
it was hot as hell when
haunted,
we went.
Right?
Yeah, it's a haunted city. Hit all that up. Maybe some ghost tours.
Definitely
I don't know what kind of weather you're facing, but I remember it being 150 degrees outside. That's a slight exaggeration. It was very hot, but enjoy it and keep our guy alive, and then we'll get him married later in the fall. Let's go to our KS board questions. From our guy Richmond from Maggie's opener. Great job by Maggie today, by the way, hosting KSR.
She was awesome. She is so phenomenal.
Not a great job of Shannon putting the podcast up. I've seen comments here, and I'm still getting tweets frequently about it. Come on, Shannon.
Mario had to put out a graphic that says, we're currently experiencing technical issues with our podcast publishing platform, which is delaying today's episode uploads. I know we had some questions about that in our comments. We're working to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Thank you for your patience. You know it's serious when you got to break out the news graphic. So good job, Mario.
Yeah, way to cover for Shannon. He probably left early. Kind of like Billy had a family obligation today, and then we learned that he's playing golf. He's going to hear about that one tomorrow. Anyway, from Maggie's show today, what are some of the craziest blog moments over the years that don't get talked about enough?
Me getting in a fight with Michael Rappaport.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the old Jack KSR days.
Yeah.
Like a decade ago or something. It was a long time ago.
This is my June was my 10-year anniversary. I totally missed it. Totally forgot.
Wow. Oh, man.
I forgot to
we
give
can
you a
celebrate
gift.
it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy 10 years.
Hey, thanks.
Every time the website crashed, that's not really that entertaining, but in terms of crazy, that's what first comes to mind. I was on vacation when we got hacked by the French terrorists, and Drew, you had to deal with that. That was a lot.
This is my first time working in counterterrorism. That was a lot going on, but they tried to take us down, and we said nay.
Wasn't everybody on vacation? And it was like you and Maggie were the only people not on vacation? Was it? Do I remember that right?
That
I don't
sounds
remember.
familiar. The days of the blog crashing all the time were very annoying. We'd lose out on a lot of good traffic because something major would happen, and the blog would crash, and hubby would have to get on hold with the hosting company. And then they wouldn't take us seriously when we're talking about the urgency, like the Twins coming back or the national championship at New Orleans. Even smaller things, the website would just stop working right when we needed it to. I do not miss those days. Of all the great things that's happened since we've gone under the On3 umbrella, having the bandwidth to stay online at all times has been the biggest game changer. Because back in the day, it felt like it was happening every couple months. That was very annoying.
The Calipari fantasy camps were always funny. Not necessarily because of the blog, but because we had our interns, including Jack, I think you did it for a while, write the recaps for the fantasy teams. So if you participated in those camps, you got, sports writers writing your game recaps. That was always kind of funny to watch. And like, we'd be in one of the little rooms in the Joe Kraft Center, and it's like you guys would be working on your game recaps, and then Marcus Lee would walk in and just sit down and watch TV with the rest of the campers. Like the pool party at Calipari's house for fantasy camp, one of those was really cool. I think it was the year after they won the title, and they played One Shining Moment, and that was kind of neat because I got to stand next to him during that. So
I went into Calipari's garage at that pool party. I had to do it. I don't think we were supposed to. I pulled a Roush. I was like, well, there's nothing stopping me. I got to see this man's garage. Looked just like anyone else's garage. Christmas tree hanging.
All of Ellen's, tools up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Some golf clubs, some spider webs on them. I don't know what I expected to see in there because especially in 2012, I'm like, John Calipari, wow, is his garage made out of gold? Looked like everyone's garage. Just stuff piled up in the corner, old holiday decorations. But that was a fun one.
Seeing people, other reporters, like their reactions when they found out you worked for KSR. And then there was one year, I think it may have been like 2013, 2014. Must have been 2014 or 2015. Looked over, it was at the Elite Eight or the Final Four or something. And Jeff Goodman was reading KSR across the media workroom at the stadium. That was kind of funny. I took a picture of that. So, yeah. Always entertaining to see the other people's reactions to KSR.
I missed the old live blog format. It was a lot of work, but it was fun just to have the random conversations. And there were times in the way early days where sometimes I would do it like a 2 a.m. live blog and delete it. And one time, Beiser and I were on the road. We accidentally gave out our location, including Matt's hotel room. That might not have been an accident, but then people started calling us. But we would just fire it up at 1 a.m. and do a Who Up live blog and then delete it like it never happened. The old comment section, it got way out of hand.
Yeah.
When it was good, but it got to the point it was just filth and people looking for trouble. We couldn't even keep up with it. That's why it had to go away. But when it was at its best, when it was just people being genuinely funny and making contributions to the conversation and not trying to tear everything down, the old comment section was a lot of fun. What's up next? Hoochie Man, who is one Louisville alum that you would want to see on their TBT roster next year, and who is one alum you wouldn't want to see? I would not want to see Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to go with him first. I want to see Trez back. I want to see him back on the table. I want to see him lose again. He's not even probably in my Mount Rushmore of most hated Louisville fans, but I feel like maybe Willie will come out of his upcoming retirement if Trez is in there. So I would like to keep watching Willie give it to him all the way into eternity.
Kason Pryor would be entertaining in a couple of years.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah, because he's probably not going to be in the league a long time. Like, I can't give us like 5 years from now, if TBT is still a thing 5 years from now. He'd be an entertaining one. I'm trying to think.
Give me Daryl Griffith. I want Daryl Griffith out there.
That'd be a good one.
Let's play 5-on-4.
Edgar Sosa, we owe you. Come back. Come get your whooping. How old is Edgar Sosa? Let's look that up.
He was supposed to play in this, and then he backed out, I believe.
He's 38. See, he's younger than Eric Devendorf. He could play.
Yeah, I think he had to pull out of it because his wife or his partner had a baby or something.
Right.
I think I remember
That's
that.
excuse absence. Same with Aaron.
It's a pretty good excuse. So
yeah.
Ooh, I like Sky Clark. That's a fun answer. Yeah.
Oh.
Let Sky Clark do it. That'd be fun.
One half for one team, one half for the other. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah,
what's next, Steven? Res non verba. I couldn't have sounded more country saying that. WCS versus Harrell is one of the all-time individual rivalries in the UK-UL rivalry. Name some of your favorites. Oh,
Swapshire Cousins.
That's the one. Yeah.
Swapshire Cousins and Cousins elbow more specifically.
Yeah.
Drew Franklin versus whoever that guy was.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know that that's a rivalry, but sure. I hear they're still talking about us. Our guy South and Josh said they're talking about us again today. I'm glad we can provide content on their radio show.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Glad South and Josh listens to them. Lamar versus Gravity was a good one in football.
That was
Love
good.
seeing the ball hit the turf. It's Willie versus Trez, though. That's top dog.
Stare down, yeah.
And the fact that it's lingered on into past their prime and still going.
Tyler Eulis bleeding.
Did Peyton Siva? I mean, he was around a while, but I can't think of like an actual rivalry he would have had.
Let's see. Let's pull up.
I'll be honest. Nate Sestina and Chinanu Onuaku.
There's a good one.
That's a surprise. I like if you would tell me like a La Familia, the Ville moment would belong in just the general landscape of the rivalry. Like I would tell you you're lying, but you know when I think of rivalry moments, I definitely think of Nate Sestina going crazy, and Daniel Orton's crazy eye coming out there and trying to fight the entire team. Like that was definitely a moment.
Chris
Bradley,
Jones
Terrence
and Dakari
Williams.
Johnson.
Ooh.
Yeah. Rick Pitino and John Calipari.
Oh, yeah.
If we are ever in a good enough spot with Cal, it'd be funny to have both of them come back and coach like one of the TBT teams against each other. That would be
Rick would pick our side.
Probably.
Chris Jones flopped again last night, by the way. That guy needs help.
And he kept rubbing the back of his head like he was bleeding.
Yes.
It's like, buddy, you weren't even touched. Go away. It's like he's like,
He really needs to seek professional help for that. It seems to be like a tick that he can't get rid of, where he just has to flop and act like he got popped in the head. It wasn't even close. Kelly Craft was even yelling at him.
I love that Kelly Craft was not only there front row, got on TV. They showed her on the broadcast up on her feet cheering. I was like, she is a true fan. Like, gotta love her.
At one point, I think she was playing defense. She was 3 or 4 steps onto the court with her hands up, kind of helping the team out. So that was pretty cool to see.
Also there, Vince. Vince was there. He was at the last one. Was he at the first one?
No.
And he was there and he wasn't even wearing red or black again.
He walked in after the game started, and I told Mario, I said, first time out, I'm walking straight across the court and giving him – I'm pointing to the door, telling him to get out. Then he played nice and asked about the baby. So I'm like, oh, yeah, here's my baby. Anyway, L's down. Get out of here. He said they were going to win by 50. At the time, it looked like they might win by 50, but he was wrong. Vince was gone by halftime. It was good to see him back.
Rajon Rondo and Pierre Rondo were both there. That was fun.
That's right. Yeah.
Terrence Mann, who's apparently friends with Alex Wilkins, he was there every game. Yeah.
It's random.
What's the next one? What are your expectations of J-Bat's upcoming inauguration, and is it a good time for KSR to mend the relationship with UK JMI? I think it will be. Stay tuned on that. His upcoming inauguration, I was talking about this with some UK athletics people. J-Bat, if La Familia wins Sunday, I think they host again, and it's J-Bat's first day at work. So J-Bat's going to show up, and TBT is going to be going on. He's going to be like,
It'll be Tuesday.
What's going on here? Yeah. So maybe we just bring J-Bat out. He can be the Y at our TBT semifinal game. But he'll be showing up to work, and Memorial will be hopefully rocking for a TBT game. But that's coming up, and that's an exciting time right now. I'm looking forward to what he brings to the table. I've said this before. I never met Mitch Barnhart, so I hope I get to meet J-Bat. Might even go out of my way to say hello.
There you go. Start on the right foot. Yeah, so his first day is the 28th, which is Tuesday. I mean, he's kind of already had press stuff. He did that roundtable press conference kind of thing. So I don't know how much more press stuff we're going to get, but I would think they would want to publicly introduce him somehow. So the TBT, if they made it, that would be the perfect natural opportunity to do it. Although it might feel a little weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
You don't wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah, here comes
Give me your
La
takes on Archie
Familia.
Goodwin, Jay.
You'd be like,
Versus
Daryl
the
Morcell,
aftershock.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Is that Chris Coffey? Did he play here? Let's get one more in, then we'll go. Which Lexington, Louisville TV stations would field the best TBT team in a basketball tournament between stations? I don't really know Louisville TV at all, so I couldn't do that one. But locally, and we've said this before, if we're including KSR, we're giving everybody buckets, especially the guy behind the camera, Steven. Keith Farmer couldn't get a hand in his face. Who else? Dave Baker couldn't even lock down Steven. If KSR is included, we're winning the tournament.
Which station does Mark Weinberg work for in Louisville? He seems kind of crazy. I wouldn't want to play him. He seems like he's just insane. The weather dude.
I don't know Louisville TV at all. I know who that is, but I couldn't tell you what station.
Kendrick
Steven says
Haskins?
WDRB.
I like Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick. I like Kendrick.
Yeah.
Steven, you know Louisville TV because you work there. Maybe you can answer this one. Which team would ball out?
Okay, so Ken Spencer has told me this story a dozen times. He hit a three-pointer in DeMarcus Cousins' face a few times during a pickup game.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound realistic at all. And why would they be playing pickup? Why?
I don't know. It was some league that they were playing in, and DeMarcus filled in for somebody, and he got hot, and DeMarcus like, I'm gonna guard him, and then he went and hit a three in DeMarcus Cousins' face and stared him down.
I'm calling massive BS.
Drew.
I could throw a football over those mountains too.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
come
chance.
on. Like,
That
He
didn't
said
happen.
the story with such conviction. I don't know. I might believe him.
And you're regurgitating. I mean, you're saying it in the comment section that Kent Spencer has a jumper. Do you have you ever seen him take a jumper?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
even league
it's
would
funny.
DeMarcus be in that he's in?
We actually
no,
had.
why would they ever be on the same court?
That's a good question. So there used to be there was like a tournament or a game that the media would play in the Final Four, and so he got to play in that like 4 straight years, or however 2011 through 2015.
Yeah, when DeMarcus was on the Kings, I don't believe that.
I don't know
Sorry.
if I don't know if it was then, but I'm just saying like he played football at like Moorhead or something like that. He's a little athletic. That's the only one in Louisville media I can think of that could even play. So they'd be in a lot of trouble. You might have to combine all of the news guys and play against KSR. That might be the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't bring this up much, and I wasn't going to until you said that story. But one time, the ball came off the rim, and I climbed Dan Issel's back and dunked on him and swung with my legs wrapped around his neck. So
It's an epic moment.
it was.
It's a Hall of Fame.
Got him. Kent, we like you, but I don't believe that. Captain Crash said you would have trouble dribbling around Dave Baker's ears. Listen, leave big ears out of this. And if anybody's locked up with Dave Baker, it's me. We'll have an ear off. You're not getting around either one of us.
Kyle Mann of The Ringer is a Louisville native. I actually play pickup with him Thursday night, like once a month, once every couple of weeks, and he's very good. Okay, so we got some local. He's not TV, but he is a local Louisvillian, and he's pretty good.
Did Anthony Davis fill in for somebody for you all?
He just showed up at the court. It's just crazy. Showed up at the Y.
It was another fun happy hour. We got to hear Paul Bunyan stories about media versus college basketball players.
Roush
Jack and I
fighting mascots.
Yeah. Jack and I did have a fun time talking to Wilkins Hawthorne and Big Frank today. Check that out on this same YouTube channel. And we'll be back with several more podcasts. Mark Pope tomorrow, where Steven's going to be breaking all the big news with his hard-hitting reporting as he continues his busy week. Shout out to Country Boy Brewing.
Nicely done.
Shout out to Parlor Pizza. Jack, have a good weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the Haunted Ghost tours and find Forrest Gump's bench.
I'll keep Zach alive.
All right. It's been another KSR Happy Hour. We'll see you later.